Hello everyone and welcome to another Dominaria United traditional draft. Sten, the partisan here, um, isn't that much better than a regular 2-drop. Of course, you can get some discounts sometimes, maybe for instant or sorceries. And then you have the exile ability, which has like a little bit utility, not a lot. You can like jump block a non-trampler and then exile this thing to not lose the creature, but that's pretty much it. Or of course, if you have mana open, opponent can't really use removal on this, but why would they use removal on it too? So it's not really that great considering it's 2 colors. Now I would be willing to pick this if I already was blue-white, but this is pack 1, pick 1. So I could take something like I haven't actually drafted domain much. I have already talked a lot about facing domain decks all the time, but this is a fairly weak pack, and the repossession and the 3D are, I think, the most interesting cards. I'm gonna take the 3D because I haven't drafted a domain deck in a while, so let's see if that could be a thing. This gets a basic land, not a land with a basic land type. Alright, so there is a threat undetected. There's a Fires of Victory, Wooded Ridgeline. I think it is one of those. No, I mean, it's not actually the threat undetected. It's the uncolor rare, but it's not as good as the removal or the land. Now, picking the Ridgeline would mean I'm gonna go really heavy with domain, and it's not really... There's not much point doing so if you can't really get benefit from all the strong cards. So I think I'll take the best card from the pack, which I think is the Fires of Victory, and let's move on. Of course, this does allow me to also switch to blue-red if it happens to be open, which based on this pack is not the case. There's no land here, but there's the Sojourner. Both the Rootwalla and the Sojourner here are, of course, good domain payouts. I like the cheap 4/6 though. So I think because I took the 3D, I should just go with this plan. It's also not a great pack actually. There are some decent cards like the Strike Team, and these green cards are fine. But yeah, let's take this. It is the best card if I end up with a domain deck. Now this is maybe time to actually pick a land. If you are drafting full domain, you need those lands, and you can't really rely on getting them at pick number 8 and later. So with the Fires of Victory, I'm interested in the red and blue producing lands, so let's take the Tangled Islet, because of course I also want most of my lands to produce green, so that I can actually cast my green spells. Domain decks are very often green based, and this of course with the picks I have made thus far seems to be a green based domain deck, so let's take the Islet now. Okay, more lands, that's good, but there's also the repossession. Can I really not pick that? I would really like to have the Haunted Mire though. It's a tough one because the lands are so important, but the repossession is really strong. It's a shame to pass a land here. It really is. Oh man. There's also the Wooded Ridgeline, which would help with the Fires of Victory. So I think I would take the Ridgeline over the repossession here. But I mean, I actually think the lands are so important that I'm gonna take it now. It really hurts me to not take the repossession there, but I'm gonna go with the full domain nonsense now, taking the Sojourner here. Now, the Rodha has a domain ability, but it's not. It's just a 4-mana 3/3. Making it go tapped isn't that great. If you have to attack with it, it's better with end-list creatures, which my deck might not have too many of. So let's take another of these guys. There is a Yavimaya Coast, but it's actually not as good as the corresponding green-blue common land for the Tangled Islet, because of course I need the land types to make my domain stuff work. So there are 2 options: the Gardener and the Illusionist. This both fix mana. This fixes my domain effects, but this is also a mana accelerator, so I think I'll take the Gardener for now. Plus I don't know yet if I'm going to have blue as my second main color, because of course the Pixie Illusionist requires you to run main color blue. One of your main colors has to be blue, and since the other one is already green, so I don't want to necessarily lock into that yet. So I could take Bog Badger, Bone Splinters. I don't necessarily have a lot of sacrifice for that, or I could just take the Relic of Legends. I guess I can take one thing that adds any color, so I can basically cast all the different colors cards, and also all the different kicker costs can be paid. So here the Prodigy is pretty sweet pick here. Crystal Grotto doesn't have the land types that I want my lands to have, so there's short up. Okay, I'll take the Badger. It's gonna be at least a 3 mana, 3/3 here. The Tablet. Well, I guess I can take that now. It's a weak pack. Well, I'm gonna take the Surveys here. Okay, so I got only 2 lands, so now I'm gonna take these. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it, but it could be something I'm gonna play. Yeah, I'm now very happy I took the Ridge line over the Urberg repossession, because as you can see, I only got 2 lands from this pack, even though I focused a lot on them. So hopefully I can get a few more of those, because I do have some domain payoffs now. So I'd really want to get the domain deck going on. Okay, I don't have a land here, but there's also very good payoff. So even if there was a land, one of these common lands, I think I would take the Bone Rattle regardless here. So yep, let's take it. Sure. I don't think the pack had too many things I'm interested in. So far I have green cards. I have now a black card. Also there's the Restoration. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play that thing though. But I have the Fires of Victory. Now this pack would be an easy land pick, but there's a Nishoba Brawler. It is one of the better payoffs for being domain, so sadly I have to pass all these 3, but it is what it is. The Brawler is really good. Also a 2-drop, which sometimes you might struggle a little bit having in these domain decks. Although with the Rootwalla, that's another good green common to have at 2. There's also the the Prodigy, which can be played on turn 2 if you just need a blocker, and then you have the option to kick it later in the game. Okay, it has to be a Ridge line, right? I mean, I just can't not pick these lands now. I would like to have the Rootwalla, but I have to take the land now. It's just how it goes. Plus, I do have a red spell I really want to play, so getting red producing lands is beneficial in that sense as well. Alright, so there's a Tatyova, which most likely is going to be the pick here. The other option is mostly the Bite Down. But Tatyova is a really good, well, not a domain payoff, but looking at the cards, I have a Slimefoot Survey here, for instance, and the Weather Seed Treaty, which helped to get this 7 lands. So it is a really good card in this deck. Double green is not an issue. Okay, I would like to have the Sojourner here, but it has to be the Tributary. I have 2 of these Sojourners already, so let's just make sure they are actually cheap when I draw them. I don't want to pay like 5 or 6 mana. I would prefer to pay at most 4 mana. The cheapest they can be is 3 mana. Alright, so the Soul Tender is good, but I think I'll just take a good blocker here. Ground guys, flyers. I can block with the Sentry here. The reason I'm keeping this Restoration here is that it's actually quite nice with these things gaining 8 life when you kick it. And I think this deck can get to 7 mana based on the cards I have here already. Okay, again a pain land, but not a land that helps me with the domain stuff. So I'm just going to take the Espionage. It's actually quite fine. Strength of the Coalition, not necessarily the kind of card this deck is really interested in. Okay, there's an Ivy here now, so that's I don't actually have a secondary color. It could be blue. Ivy is not like amazing, but it is a 2 mana flyer. I still want to have 2 drops. There is also the WM, but I have some big hitters here already, so I'm gonna take the Ivy now. I might be second color blue here. I have 2 lands that produce blue among these duals. I also don't have any black or white producing dual land, which is kind of annoying because I don't want to put too many basic lands. I guess I will put 1 of each because of the Weather Seed Treaty. But I would rather have those dual lands. But yeah, they really just no. Actually, this pack was my pack to pick one. There was no dual land in this pack, but I think the next one had like 3 of them, from which I took the Nishoba Brawler, if I remember correctly. Here I'm still taking maybe like just a battery here. Why not? Okay, so all the lands were taken here. This had the Nisova Brawler. I got the Sojourner here, which I'm gonna take here, but I mean, this pack had 3 common duels. So yeah, domain can just be so contested so often. I would like that interference, but maybe I should take another Slime Food Survey. I mean, it's kinda crazy, but let's see. I might play 2 of them. I can take also this good defensive 2-drop if I'm going to be, you know, domain deck. I could play the interference, but this is a best of 3 draft, and it's definitely nice to have access to negate. It's probably going to go to sideboard. Alright, lockdown, not necessarily. There's a Nile, which is gonna be the peak hero. I mean, jeez. Alright, so the Haunted Mire is actually really important here. But the Nile is such a good domain payoff, and I'm gonna be like blue-green domain deck here. Okay, I mean, I have to take the payoff. I mean, anything else than a really good domain payoff, and I take the Mire here, but because I don't expect this to come back. This is the only dual land in this deck, and the drafts earlier packs have shown that they really get, you know, picked early. It also produces green, which is great for me, but sorry, I mean, yeah, green, but also black, which is great for me, but what can you do? Alright. Well, there's a Gas Might and there's a Ruinous Vortex. I think I'll take the Vortex because I'm pretty sure at this point that I will have like blue as my sort of a secondary color. Maybe not like having a ton of islands in the deck, but like maybe 6 ways to get blue. Or 6 lands that produce blue, and then the Ruinous Vortex will be fine because it doesn't have to be cast early in the game usually. Okay, so no lands whatsoever. I guess I'll take the Frostfist Strider. I do have a lot of expensive cards though, maybe not. Okay, but this is such a good one. I'm not going to take the double black, not really. I don't think I'm gonna play the Restoration. I will play the Bone Rattle though. Sure, let's take the best card, I think. Alright, it has to be the Mire. I don't care what else this pack has. There's like Weather Seed 3D, which would be amazing. There's also Nemata, which wouldn't be, you know, it's not the greatest. I would take the 3D over the Nemata actually. But now I just need the land. There's no question about it. Sorry 3D, you don't get picked here now. Okay, another land. That's just gonna be the case. So actually, it's good because now I have these dual lands that produce also black and white. Because prior to these 2 picks, I didn't have that, and it's pretty important for the surveys because these can get also those duals, not just, you know, basic lands. So let's take the Radiant Crow here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 duals now. Zar Ojanen. I think I just have to take a 2-drop here though. I mean, I'm gonna cut most of this, and not all of them are playable at 2. So yeah, maybe take Roostvala. I don't have to play the Coral Colony necessarily here now. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna play anything really here. Let's take like the Soul Tender for sideboard if I need it for some kind of a grindy matchup. Because Scout the Wilderness is gonna be the pick here. Yeah, SS Scatter wouldn't be bad actually, but I think I just want to play the ramp here. Another Scout here. Meteorite, no thanks. Firenado, I don't think I care about it enough. Although it is removal, which I'm lacking a bit, but I don't think I need another Scout. I'll take the 20 gems. I don't think I have room for any of that stuff. I can play 1 Gas Might. It's pretty decent when it's a +5/+5. I can play a Bite Down. I guess I could play the Necromas. I have so many cuts to make, so I don't know how many creatures I'm gonna end up with. I'll take the Bite Down. A little bit removal. I have a Death Toucher here, for instance, and some big creatures as well. Yeah, if the Sheldred's Restoration would be, you know, the... Okay, well, this is an interesting pack, which I'm gonna take here. Let's take the Sojourner. I guess I'll take the Sojourner here. So I was saying that if this Restoration was, you know, the Urborg Repossession, I would really like it a little bit more. I don't think I can cast the... I mean, it's a little bit too expensive to have the Restoration here. Okay, let's cut the lands for now. Yeah, the lands were really contested. I'm happy I did end up with 6 in the end, but it's a little bit on the low side. So this is 33. I'm going to cut I guess in the end, well, both negates go away. I don't need a joint exploration. Coral Colony might not be needed. Oh, Colossal Growth isn't gonna be needed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna cut at least from the main deck the Coral Colony here. I don't need all the 3 drops here. I think I will sideboard in the restoration if it really needs. If the matchup is such that I need to bring back my guys that were killed, because of course bringing back something like a Bone Rattle is great. Something like a Iron Out is great. Tatiova, they are all high quality creatures that produce a nice amount of value. Plus, of course, if I get to keep bring these guys back, it's also +8 life. I mean, assuming I kick it, of course, this is really horrible when you pay only 4 mana, so this would be effectively a 7 mana card. Also, I don't have really anything that cares about the white except for the Scout to the Wilderness kicker cost, and I'm actually thinking that my only white source might be in this deck. Or only land in this deck might be the Radiant Grove, because no spell cares about the white. Well, except for the Scout here. And not being able to get the domain with... So let's say if I cut the Scout to Wilderness, then the Weather Seed 3D is the only card that would, be able to get a basic plains from the deck. The surveys will be able to get the Radiant Grove. So I really don't want to put a basic plains. I will be putting a basic mountain, a basic island, basic forest obviously, and a basic swamp, because I have at least one spell for each of those colors. I want to be able to cast them. But basic plains seems a little sketchy here. I think I will play the Relic. Okay, I'm gonna cut the Scout to Wilderness. I still have the Relic of Legends, the Weather Seed 3D, and the Deathbloom Gardener as 3 mana options to, accelerate and get at least most of the... Well, I mean, Gardener and Relic of course tap for any color, and this can get any basic land except for the plains, because that's not... I won't be playing a plains, putting a plains in the deck. So let's see. I'm thinking about the tablet here. Is it necessary here? Because I still have a bunch of cuts to make. I mean, this is most likely going to be replacing a land. Is it better to replace a land or just play 17 lands? Because that's, I think, the question. And I guess with Tatiova 17 lands is like slightly better. And now I have to... Now it's the hard part, so I have to decide if I want to... Well, I have the Frost Feast Strider, so I guess... And this is a double caster, so I need some islands in the deck. So I could cut like the Ivy and the Strider here, which would put me down to 23 cards. And then, of course, I wouldn't have to care about the blue, because the only blue spells would be like the Tatiova, the Nile, Vortex, and the Espionage, all which, are totally fine played later in the game. Of course, the same applies for the Strider, but it's a double blue, so if I play this, I need to put a bunch of blue cards, multiple blue sources in the deck, and same applies for the 2-drop in here. Now the Ivy, I can... So when this works so that I play a pump spell, for instance, on some other creature, then I can, or if the opponent, of course, plays a pump spell on their creature, but mostly it works well with the Gaia's Might and not much with anything else in my deck. It doesn't work with the Bite Down because this has 2 targets. This requires exactly 1 target. Yeah. I do want to play the blue though, because the Strider and the 2-drop are kinda okay. I think I should be able to play, enough mana sources to accommodate for the blue. So I think I can easily just cut 1 Bug Badger, and then the final card is... How many creatures this is? It is still 15. I mean, I could take one of the Sojourners away. It is something. I'm not sure how easily I'm gonna have these as 4-drops. I think I'm gonna cut one of them, at least from the main deck. Now I will play both surveys, which means a lot of these cards are going to add me more. I mean, I'm gonna have a lot of lands on the battlefield, which is... Do I want that? Actually, I'm thinking about the Relic of Legends, but I like how it, you know, adds any color here. And usually doesn't get removed, unlike the Gardener, which you can't really rely on that easily. Because I have, you know, I won't be having that many ways to get black or red, for instance. Let's do it like this. So this is 23 now. Let's put all the lands in the deck. I mean the dual lands in here, and see how the mana base would look like. First of all, I'm gonna add one of each basic, except for the planes. So one here, one here, one here, and of course I will add more forests and islands, but let's just see how many slots I still have here. So now the Weather Seed 3D can get, you know, a missing land type, except for the plains. And the amount of green mana sources currently in the deck is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's a decent amount of green. The amount of blue is it's 3, 1 island tributary and the island, 3 blue. So if I want to play the double caster and the 2-drop, I would need at least 3 islands, maybe 4 islands. So if I put 4 islands and then 3 forests, that would be good, wouldn't it? So now this is 5, 6, 7 blue sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 green sources. And then, you know, I have the black and red supported enough for the, you know, the 2 cards that actually require that. Not counting any kicker costs I have here. So this would be one version of the deck. This is a little bit heavy on the, you know, ways to get mana. You could cut one of these surveys and maybe actually just put the Sojourner here. Now this is 1, 2. Okay, that's a lot of red actually. 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to get red, 2 ways to get black. Plus, you know, I mean, that is just from lands alone. Then there's the Relic of Legends, Gardener, and the 3D, which are, you know, basically plus 3 ways. And then there's the survey. Maybe I just don't need that many surveys. I mean, if I cut a survey, and I can just play, you know, the Sojourner here and see how it goes. Maybe that's how I should do it. Fine, okay, this is the main deck. Let's go. Actually, I did have some second thoughts, because I just realized that in order to get the Nile be really good, I need the planes, and currently I have the only ways to get the planes is to play and draw the Radiant Grove or get one with the Slime Foods survey. So maybe I should get actually one plane, so that's another, you know, land that produces white I can draw or get with the Weather Seed 3D. Other option is to maybe still play the second copy of the survey, but I maybe do prefer this, because I have on the end not that many blues or cards. I don't need to be able to always cast this on turn 2. Of course it's awkward if this is my only 2-drop and I don't have the blue available on turn 2, but this is fine later in the game too. So I'm gonna do it like this after all, just to make sure that I get, because this is not so great when you don't have the full domain. So let's add 1 planes after all. So that's basically right away 2 more ways to get the white, or I mean plains land type on the battlefield, because now I can get it with the Weather Seed 3D as well. So this is now the deck. Well, funny looking hand, but works well. Basic, basic, basic. This is my only mountain in the deck. So it's just... I can play this on turn 3 if I need to. I will almost surely... Okay, well, I don't actually need to play it now because I have the brawler here, but yeah, I only need 1 land and I can kill it. So we have the blue and red here. But now the brawler was really good and I can play the sentry here. So this is going very well. This also threatens to be a 5-5 upon activation, so once I play my land here, I can threaten that and then play the sentry post combat. Queen Helena. So I hope they don't have like too much token generating, because I don't really want to miss out on playing the sentry here. I guess if they have one extra 1-1, I can live with that. Getting the 4-4 here down is better. For sure. Because this has, you know, of course this size will grow as well, so it can go. Didn't do much. I mean, it did do, you know, something, but so far it's just 1-1. I guess I just hope to draw a land here, so I can kill this ASAP, because it can be a little bit awkward to not be able to do so. Alright, so am I gonna activate? So they are, first of all, they are having some kind of a trick here. I mean, I could activate for +3 damage here. Maybe if they were tapped out, I'm a little bit afraid that they might have a way to deal with the, you know, to have a response to my pump here. So, for example, artillery blast. So I think I'm gonna just let this go, and then I probably will kill this thing with Fires of Victory before it grows in size, because I do have now, you know, stuff to play with 5 mana anyway. I don't necessarily want to miss out, you know, playing a spell in this turn cycle. Okay, well, I have to try. Now they didn't play anything, so obviously they don't have something. But let's see first. They have a way to save it. Sure. Vortex, I don't have the black, but I can bounce it if need be. So let's just attack, and then it seems like they don't have any action there. I mean, I can just deal lethal here now. Let's do it. Oh. That's the power of you know, observing that the opponent doesn't have a stop. I mean, priority stop there, because now that I saw that they immediately skipped priority, that meant that they didn't have anything to cast, so it was safe to do the Rootfalla. In Magic Online, where you don't know, you know, such tricks don't work, I think in Magic Online I wouldn't have done the pump here in this same situation. I would have just dealt, you know, 5 here and played the Sojourner there. I'm pretty sure of that. Alright, so they are but green, white, blue at least. Destroy Evil, shore up, Queen Alenal. I didn't get a lot of information. Negate can, you know, counter 2 of those spells I already saw. But usually they will use Destroy Evil so that I have played something that's big. I know I don't necessarily have, you know, mana up for that. So I don't really think that I want to sideboard into anything. I'll just use the same deck and see if I see something else that makes me want to sideboard, for example, those negates, or at least one of them. Right, let's mulligan a 1 lander, shall we? They killed 7, and this is a keep, and I guess, well, these things can cost less than 6, but the Bone Rattle is of course a better card. For the early game I do have a Brawler and a Bite Down, so that should maybe buy me a little bit of time. I guess I'm gonna just put one of these Sojourners away. The first one should buy me enough time to hopefully get to the Bone Rattle. Okay, the untapped land is pretty sweet. So this makes the Brawler into a 4-3 once I play the Wooded Ridge line here. And I can use a Bite Down if they have a blocker of some kind. Okay, so the opponent decides not to play a lot of things. Am I gonna lose it now? Is there an artillery blast? That's something for the Bone Rattle to fetch, but well, not fetch, but to bring back, maybe. I don't have the black mana yet, but with the 3D I will have, but of course now I can just play the 4-6. If I put away the Bone Rattle instead of the other Sojourner, I could play both of them, but they might even have a blocker for this thing. Don't know how well, that's exactly so great for that. I do have the Bite Down and the Vortex here I can use if they have some nasty tricks. Alright. So I will get the Bone Rattle on the next turn because I can get the Swamp with the 3D now. While keeping mana up for the Bite Down and the Vortex. But not for the kicked Vortex at least, but still. So what is gonna be left up? Green, blue, red. That is good. Yeah, the chapter 3 here is pretty good, you know. +5 and travel. It's definitely great, but of course I will go to the chapter 1 now and get my swamp here. So that was their play on turn 5, just a 3-3. Alright, they need to, you know, match up my plays here. Water Monstrosity is good. I can't kill it with the Bite Down unless I draw like my Death Toucher. But I can get rid of it with the Vortex. I can kick the Vortex now. Although they might have the, you know, that thing. Well, they have a Tail Swipe. So I have the option to kill the Root Weaver right now. I think I'm gonna kill it. I'm not gonna sure when I have maybe possibility. Well, I guess I could have killed the Molten Monstrosity too. I actually didn't realize that. Because of course this was a fight. Yeah, I could have dealt 4 to the Monstrosity itself. Oh well. I think it's still fine. I'm gonna just get the Bone Rattle. It will bring back me. I think it can either bring back a Sojourner to my hand or the Brawler on the battlefield. And I think I prefer the 5-3 on the battlefield. And then next turn the Bone Rattle will be a 9/9 trample unless it gets killed somehow. Another Monstrosity, alright. That is fine-ish. Okay, what of these guys? I guess I do have 4 of these now. Sure. I don't even need to use the Vortex now. I can just attack for 14 trample. Use the Vortex later on. Trading with the Brawler is totally fine. I'm not gonna use the Vortex on the blocker. Who's gonna block the Brawler here? Yeah, I just can get rid of this 5-5 because this 5-5 of course will. I can kick. Yeah, tap these, use these lands, and then bigger Vortex. This of course blocks both my 4-power creatures, but if they don't have like yet another monstrosity, they are just gonna lose. Okay, Tolarian Terror also works. Now that's. Oh, if they're gonna do that. No, yeah, I mean, of course they're never gonna attack into a 4-6. So. Not even sure if I should actually use this right now. Maybe I will. I could draw something that costs more. Oh, I'm happy I did that because actually I couldn't kick this. Oh man, I can just win here with the kicker. Well, it doesn't actually matter. I could have used this, the bounce spell without, kicking it. So if I didn't cast it at the end of their turn, I just bounce the. Well, either of those actually. I can even pay the ward cost and still win because these are, of course, these Menace guys will be unblockable. All right. No green here. Well, I'm gonna mulligan the hand. I do have 9 green sources in the deck, but actually this hand isn't even. Well, I guess I could make these into. Well, with a couple of lucky draws, this could be, 3 mana spells. And if I draw 1 green source, then I'm only 1 other land type away from making these into 4 mana cards, but I guess it's a bit too risky now, because it's possible that my next 4 draw steps don't have a green mana source, and then I just lose. So let's mulligan, go to 6 here, and this is fine. A little land heavy, but I guess this deck can be a little land heavy. Okay, so let's just put an island there and I still do one. I guess it's not that too bad to have some untapped lands also to help enable curving out, so I can play on the island on turn 2. Well, apparently I can play a swamp, so I have to only need them to play this for Dominaria. And then I can play the tap lands when I don't have use for the extra mana, and then, well, that's a little bit ridiculous. I have drawn only lands here now. I mean, I actually had a 5-lander here at 6. I had to put one of them away, and then I just drew more and more lands here. Now I'm gonna have to. So the good news is I can, play untapped lands to curve out, but bad news is my opponent is gonna get a wing metal chapline and I lose the game. Well, I don't immediately lose the game. I actually do have a reach creature to block it. Oh, that's not a chaplain. They might have a chaplain in their hand then. Anyhow. Let's see if they are going to block. I don't know if I'm gonna use 4 mana if they do block with the 1/3. Yeah, they don't want to lose it. They don't wanna risk it. So I'll just do this now. The Strider is, well, it really depends on some poker. So a wing mantle now would be produce 4 1/1s, but of course they have the whopping 1 power on the battlefield right now, and I have 4/4 and guy who threatens to be a 6/6. The Cavalier is. Okay, well this is a sweet one. This is a really sweet one. And now the amount of lands doesn't matter that much anymore. I don't mind drawing lands now. So I think I should just play the Frostfist Strider. Tapping the, I guess, the Cavalier. So the next turn I can start attacking with the Root Walla. Well, unless I want to play the Tatiova though. Not sure if I do. Let's see what they do, of course. That might really affect. The Defiler Weaker. Okay, that is a really annoying card. I thought that my 4/4s would be good here. Maybe they don't even have a chaplain now. Maybe they do and they played the Vigor, of course, first. But these things are gonna get counters, and that's horrible. I mean, I don't. The sad thing is I don't have the planes, because if I would be able to get the Bone Rattle, I mean this Strider back with the Bone Rattle, I could attack into it. I still have a way to win if they don't have the chaplain. I can make some flying lands at some point, but because I'm thinking about attacking with everything, so that they block one of the 4/4s. I guess if they do block the Sentry, I get it back right away. Then I can't pump this guy though. Maybe it's just gonna be better to do like this. They're gonna jump it. Okay, they're gonna force me to do that, which is fine. But yeah, these guys are gonna pick up some counters if they have a green permanent spell. That's gonna be bad, so I need to win with the Tatiova's lands if at all possible. I guess if Tatiova dies, I can bring it back with the battle. That's not a... Well, of course they should play their non-green things first to maximize the counters on everything. There we go. So I'm not gonna be able to attack with anyone on the ground anymore here. Yeah, okay, that's just Defiler Weaker doing the thing. I'm not gonna win with Tatiova, it's way too slow, because next turn I can play only... I mean, yeah, but you can see it. Well, I mean, they're at 8 here, and they have a tapper, so I really wasn't gonna win here. It's too much to get those things there. Yeah, that's just an annoying, well, not annoying, but an amazing 5-drop rare. It just takes over the game, just like that. And I didn't draw my, few removal spells. Fine, let's use the same deck. I don't think there's much I should consider. I mean, maybe like a pump spell or something, but I don't think it's... I just need to, you know, hope that they don't have the Defiler of Vigor, or if they do, they don't have follow-ups with green permanent spells. This is okay, I can play the Espionage on turn 3 if nothing else. This thing could be played. Oh, well, I guess I can play a 3-mana 3/3. Yeah, it's a 3-mana 3/3 and I do have the mana for it, despite the, you know, the hard mana cost here. This might get a couple of attacks in. Yeah, that previous game was really, I mean, I was thinking about with my 4/4s, I'm going to really, you know, be able to pressure them, even if they have a chaplain. But the Defiler Vigor came and then it was pretty much over at that point. Okay, well, this isn't bad. So this thing actually can now tap for mana with the relic, but I still, once I cast this, yeah, I have only 1 mana available. No, actually, I do have 2 mana, but I'm not going to use the Fires of Victory here. I want to kick it. Next turn I can kick it, even if Tatriva dies. I can kick it on the next turn. So they haven't played any spell yet. I hope they don't have the Vigor thing. Probably just... They must have drawn that because they didn't play this earlier. Right, so... Well, let's first attack. I do have the Fires of Victory if they have some, you know, pump spell shenanigans. Because I don't need 6 mana. I could have tapped this for mana, but I don't need 6 here. 4/4 or the Flyer. I don't have the planes yet, so it won't be doing the good stuff. I think the 4/4 is more interesting now. It will deal more damage. This, I mean, of course the domain ability here is good. But drawing the card is, you know, that makes the card really, really amazing. So there was Destroy Evil, but I can use it. Oh, come on. Because I don't think I can kill it even with the kicker, no. It's 1 mana short. Oh, I don't want to lose 2 games to that thing. Now I'm going to, of course, attack and hope they block. I don't see a world where they block, but I mean, if I kick this thing I can deal 5 damage. That has 6 toughness. So, I mean, maybe they take 3 and I can win with Flyers. Five mana. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to play the Flyer now. It also is a legendary creature, so I can use it to tap for mana with the Relic of Legends. I have the Fires of Victory unkicked. Alright, so territorial mana with only 2 land types though, but they still have the, you know, Defiler of Vigor here. Okay. So I can kill the Maro here now if they don't have a way to save it. There is the planes actually, but before I play that, let's try to kill the Maro. Okay. I mean, I could also kill the Tapper, but I don't think they can use 3 mana for that thing. I mean, I'm gonna die to the Trampler, but let's just do this and hope they don't have a way to save it. Okay. I'm gonna lose 2 games to that. Fire here. And get one of these. Book Badger gives me menace. It doesn't even matter really. Oh, I don't need the land types anymore. I don't need the land. I guess I mean, this would block the territorial Maro, I guess, but I'm taking here. I mean, I might have to jump block the Maro here. I'm gonna go to 6 from this Defiler of Vigor, so it doesn't really help. The Gardener doesn't really help. I'm gonna take the 3 toughness here. I really needed my Rona's Vortex there, but I couldn't find it. Maybe I find it. So that's just almost lethal. I go to 1 here now. No, they have a... sometimes you just lose 2 games straight to one rare, and there's nothing much you can do if you don't draw the removal for it. Well, it's not a great hand. I guess I'm gonna keep it, because most of the lands... Well, I have a lot of blue sources, because I have now 2 castables here. And I have, you know, some number of ways to get blue mana. So ideally I just get one right now, on the next turn. But I can play the bite down. I wouldn't mind, you know, kicking this thing, but I might have to do it. Oh well, there is a blue source right there, so could play the ivy here. It's kind of tempting just to play the espionage, but I'll take 3 plus whatever amount of humping they're gonna do here. I guess I'm gonna play the espionage. It's the most efficient use of mana. There's some good stuff now. I can take this damage on the next turn. Then I do have 2 green sources, so I can, for example, play the brawler and the bite down, or the ivy and bite down, for instance. They didn't use the Kavu here, so they have 4 mana available. And now if I play the plains, this will be a 4/6. Alright. I mean, it will be a 4 mana card. Sure. They are down to 2 cards in hand. So how do I do it? I don't have the swamp to kick the vortex. This is gonna be a 4/3. It's kind of tempting to just play the Sojourner, but I do like to play the Brawler and then have mana up for the bite down, so I think I'm gonna do that. Although this is just gonna block this. Okay, fine, let's do this. They can't now attack with the Warhorse unless they really get some sacrifice fodder to use with this ability. They would need to sack 2 creatures. So it costs mana to do that. They don't attack with anything. Right, so... Not even with the Battlefly Swarm, what's this? They were going to... I mean, they were raising me here, but they chose not to deal even 1 damage. Are they gonna block with the Swarm? I'm not gonna attack with anything here, there's no way. Right, so of course I have a number of options. Nile, kick this guy, or play either of these 2 mana cards while having mana up for bite down. I don't know which is the optimal way to go here. I guess I'm gonna play the Brawler for now and leave mana up for the... I know I could also play the Ivy, but I don't think the Ivy really contributes much here. I think I'll just want to play the... Okay, now this is good. I think I made a mistake. I should have done this in response, but I should kill the Warhorse. But now they get the Freeze Cry, because they don't have mana to use it. So I don't have much else. Yeah, I don't like the fact that I made this mistake, but I guess if they scry on top, it doesn't matter in the end. But if they scry on the bottom, which they did, I made a mistake, which, you know, is impossible to tell if it's gonna cost me the game or not. But oh well. All right, I'm gonna now maybe just play the Prodigy. I need to find a land here. No black producing land. but the double blue is good, so let's take that. Of course the Sojourner would be good, but I mean I have the stuff in my hand to cast. I don't need another spell right now. They're not in a position to attack. The Ivy can be just used to block that. Okay, again they chose not to attack with the swamp, but there is the swamp now. I have a full domain, so that means I actually want them to now block with the swamp, so I can play the Strider to lock it down and then get some value out of this Nile here. So let's see that line first. So play this thing. Oh, I can actually play this and the spell thing. That's nice. Alright. I think my opponent is also a bit of sick of all the domain decks in the format, because that was quite early concession, but I guess if this is their board, they can't really match up with my board, and I'm still at 14 creatures. They might have be holding like 2 lands there, and even though they did have a block on the Nile, they maybe saw that it's not gonna end well. So I can't blame them too much about conceding at that point. Again, negate, no. Coral Colony, probably not. I think the 3/3 is like an okay blocker, but what is the card I'm not gonna play? Like, I do want to play the Espionage still. I think the gas could be maybe not that important. I'm gonna play a 3/3 because it is pretty decent blocker on all the 2/2s I saw here. Also, this will need to be double blocked, and having a 3/3 in addition to something else is also good for that. So I'm gonna make that little change. No green, but I have a Relic of Legends, so I'm gonna do it. I mean, do the keeping because of course I do have 9 green lands, green producing lands in the deck, so it's not really a surprise. I do want to. And here I think I can just. I'm not gonna activate this guy. I'm just gonna block the Splatter Goblin here. I have a good late game here. I don't need to rely on the Ratmalak beating 7/7 with 4 mana activation. I have actually... No, I need a swamp for the... I can't cast the Sojourners yet, but of course I can cast a Relic here, and then I have, I can cast any of these spells now on the next turn. And let's just start with Destroy black producing land here. So can I double spell? I could double spell on the next turn if I happen to draw the swamp. But this might be useful later on. Okay, let's play the card that will always be a 5 mana card. These things can get cheaper because if I... Well, I guess it would have to be the untapped swamp for me to be able to play both of these. So even if it's a tapped swamp, it's not gonna help me in double cast, having both of them up. Alright, so now obviously I can just try to raise them. That Connoisseur is a bit scary because they might have, of course, like removal on the Sojourner, but it's not like I can leave the Strider block and then let them attack in the air here. If they do have the kill spell, the 4 mana black instant kill the Sojourner. Okay, they have something. They have 5 Trampler, so that's of course a number of things there. But I'm gonna have to make them use their cards. I can't just keep taking here 8 damage. Slime Food Survey will give me something. I'm gonna take it. This will trample over. Or did already, so. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I didn't have enough going on here. I'm of course now not in a good shape at all. If I play the survey, I sadly don't quite have this will enter tapped, so I would still need one additional mana because this I could make this cost 3, but I have even if I play you know, this here. I have only 2 mana up. This is not a legendary creature even. So, problem of course here is that they have the Connoisseur which they can continue to attack with. Am I in a position to race here? I mean, or do I just have to find an answer for this thing? Because I'm gonna play the Surgery this turn to have more board presence, but I'm thinking about attacking with this because they might force. I'm gonna try to, you know, be in a position to race. Sadly, I won't have a lethal attack on the next turn because I did even, you know, sideboard out my guy as my team. Okay, so at least they can't attack with the ground guys, so attacking with the Strider now was the correct move. Sadly, they do have jump blockers, so I do need to find an answer to the Connoisseur, which I can get with the Survey, of course. And now I can also play the Sojourner here, because I will get the Swamp. Alright, don't need more. I guess I can take a blue producing land. Well, there's a Swamp here, and then something that produces blue. Tangled Islet. Yep. And then an answer to the Connoisseur. Fires of Victory Wood. Oh, it's not one. I can draw one of these, or none of these, but I won't have cards in my hand, even if I kick this to kill the 4/4. They might even attack with everything on the next turn, so it becomes even bigger. I don't have to keep anything here, but am I gonna actually lose a game to this Connoisseur here? One flyer I couldn't deal with. Yeah, even if I don't play either of these cards from my hand, I'm gonna just draw the Fires of Victory and kick it, and it's gonna be dealing 3. Not gonna be enough even if they don't pick up another counter here. So my chance is to submit 0 here and hope to draw the Runner's Vortex. And that's it. Can't even attack here. I could have taken the Weatherseed 3D to give +5/+5 on Trample, but I mean, they have enough blockers to deal with that. They can jump block my non-tramplers, and then the 1/9/9 Trampler, no, they could even take it through. So I need to find exactly a Runner's Vortex. And even in that case I will be in a slight trouble because I'm at 4 and they have more creatures than I have. Sentry works too, but I can't attack into their stuff because they will block. And then this will become a 5/5. So Sentry works if they don't have removal. And they have the picker to, you know, trade cards into better cards. It's kind of funny how how this 1/1 flyer is such a troublesome card here now. Well, at least I get to see more of their deck, so does that affect my sideboarding in any way? They still have, you know, this cheap 2/2s and all that, which, you know, I can quite easily block, but then again my 4/6s aren't gonna be that great when they have these multiple blockers here as well. Okay, so they attack with that so that they can, you know, trade. To get that Connoisseur, and now I need to find my Vortex. Now I need to find that. Oh, Necromass, that's very troublesome too. Well, there's a Bite Down, which, I mean, I would have been good if I had it. If I had it, you know, on the previous turn. Yeah, it's really nasty that they have the picker here active, so they can just, they have actually a lot of lands they have drawn. Now they have a, you know, gas every turn because their graveyard has but 5 lands. So their deck is mostly spells. Well, not mostly, but I mean, they have also 3 cards in hand. I can't imagine all of them being, you know, lands. I don't know why they didn't attack with the Writing Necromass. Is there a reason for that? I guess I actually should have maybe let this happen and then end of combat or end of turn use the Strider or something to bring down their connoisseur. They might respond with something there. No, that's not actually enough. No, it is enough. Yeah, I made a mistake. Okay. I don't think I was gonna win here anyway, but it certainly helped that. Yeah, I should have let this trade, I mean, the jump block happen and then end up turn. But as you can see, it wouldn't have mattered when they, of course, have, thanks to the couple figure, have all this gas here now. Anything that's particularly good against that stuff? Suddenly the Gaia's Might is interesting because they do have, tribute to the Outwork and Furious Bellow here. I guess the 3-3 isn't so good after all. I'll play the Might here. Not sure about the Colossal Growth. Probably not that. How about the Negate? There's not that many things to negate though. I don't like the fact they have the Necromass because it's actually very good against the 4-6s. This just get eaten by the Necromass. How about the Sheldred's Restoration? Can I go to 7 mana and bring something back? Gain a ton of life. I think I will have black and white by the time I'm at 7 mana most of the time because I have some number of fixing here. But I don't know what to cut. Maybe like an Ivy is not gonna be that great. Alright, so let's try this. This is the last game in the event. Let's try to get some good value out of the Restoration. The lockdown would actually work quite well against some of that stuff I saw there, but I can't really rely on being able to have the double white spell happening. I will not play the Negate because I didn't really see that much removal. There were some non-creature spells, but maybe not enough for me to bother with that. Okay, well I have a decent hand. Opponent is also mulliganing, and the fact I'm on the play means that I have a little bit breathing room here now. They don't come blading out of the gates now. I do need to find some other land types for that thing to be more cheaper than a 6 mana spell. Didn't exactly happen. I guess at this point I'm happy if I get to play this on turn 5. I mean, it's impossible for me to play it on turn 4 anymore because an untapped land will only make this 1 mana cheaper. Okay, well, I don't know why I'm drawing all these islands and forests when I don't need them. I don't like it at all. Because I might misplay on the next turn. Also, these are the kind of turns when I was in a perfect spot to play tapped lands. I don't need all the mana here. Might even bounce that if I don't draw anything relevant here. Okay, I did draw something relevant, so there's that. Relic, Espionage, Rootwalla. I guess it's gonna be the draw card thing. Because I don't think I need the mana for anything. No, I'm gonna just draw 2. And I can't attack into that. I know I could have played Vortex in there, but maybe I will just double block it. Although it will be 5-4 when they enlist the 2-2. I guess I can raise them if they enlist, because I mean then I can take 5 here. Yeah, and then maybe because I can attack for 8 here. Or I can block with the Tatyova and the Badger, but problem is that Tatyova is so good, and I'm 1 land short of making a 3-3 out of my lands. But I'm not going to lose a Tatyova here. Now I could hope that they are actually going to have a Furious Bellow there. Okay, maybe I hope they have a Furious Bellow there. Or then they just trade with Tatyova, which is exactly what's gonna happen here. I guess I just can't be too happy about this situation here. But it is what it is. I have ways to bring it back. Yeah, of course I do need to find the correct cards and the mana to cast them. But oh, that's interesting. I guess I'm gonna now do this then. Okay, Slime Food Survey, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna give me full domain. So let's do that right now. So I need, of course, all the stuff. So white on the Radiant Crow. Oh, let's see, can I get the full domain, by the way? Because I don't necessarily have a land that... Oh, white, red and black. I don't have a dual land that gives me... Oh, I actually have to choose which of these not to have available. Yeah, that's right. Can I only get 2? Well, I do need the black here, of course, to kick the espionage, which I might want to do. Then I have more red than white, so I think I should take the Radiant Crow. Yeah, I can draw a red producing land, so let's do that. I still get to do the, this with 4, and there's a Bone Rattle, which is the one I'm gonna want to draw here. Get my Tapula back actually. Yeah, and if I draw a land, yeah, let's see when I'm gonna do that. Please don't have another aggressive sabotage. That would be... Now, I don't like having this around either, but I'm still in an okay-ish shape here, I guess. More swamps. I don't know why they didn't attack with one of the swamps if they're gonna play another. Anyhow, I'm at 7 here, so I can just make them discard a card. Then I can't play any spell. But I do like the idea of making them discard a card, because they have only one card in their hand. Okay, I shouldn't have trusted the auto-tapper. No, actually yes, I do have green and blue here, so no problem. So they have a Warhorse, so they had an actual spell there. Good. And I'm gonna have a Death Toucher now, which... I'm not going to play now, because I don't want to play the land, because next turn I can play the Bone Rattle, and I have a domain of 4, which means I will get the Tatiova on the battlefield, then I can play the island after that. So the question is, am I even going to attack with the Prodigy, because they would take the Prodigy and attack with everything. I won't be doing that. I'm of course looking at my hand here. I will be in a pretty good shape now if I don't quickly lose. So I need to block here. Hopefully they only deal the 2 in the air. But I can block these with my lands then. Splatter Goblin is totally acceptable. Okay, so I get to do the thing here now. So then I will... Yeah, I can't use the mana on anything. Let's turn the island into a... Didn't matter actually. Let's turn the forest into a... not that spell. This spell. Forest will be a creature. I could make this island too. I think it gives haste, doesn't it? Yep. But I still think... Well, I mean, I have more islands than forests, don't I? Well, it doesn't have vigilance, so I'm not going to attack with it. I don't know. Maybe I should actually. Should I? I think I should. So now if they attack with everything, I have to take 2 from the flyers. They get the 1/1 token with this thing. But they can't attack with everything, I have a lethal counter attack. Okay, I'm gonna risk it a bit. Maybe they will just trade with the Prodigy, that's also possible. I have the double Sojourner coming up though, so I shouldn't really be too risky here. I mean, I can't just not attack with anything and try to overwhelm the opponent. in a couple of turns, but okay, I'm gonna do this regardless. Maybe it's foolish, maybe it's not. Because they don't have that great of a ground attack, because of course I have a massive attack back and they are now. So let's hope I don't get punished with some top deck they might have now. Okay, land is... I don't know why they showed the land, but I'm happy they did. Alright, I didn't draw a land myself. So I could play 2 4-mana cards by not attacking with the island. Yeah, I think I wanna play some stuff here. Yep, okay. I kind of want them to maybe trade with the swamps there. Because then my Nile, you know, does its thing. I don't have a mountain, so I won't get to draw a card. But the you know, choosing the best card out of them, you know, to draw on the next turn is still good at this point in the game when both of us. Well, I'm not even top decking now, but the opponent is top decking, and they are currently not pressuring me too much. So now that they have still a 1 swamp there, I think I'm supposed to. I'll just play the searcher as well. One of them will trade with the swamp, then I probably will take over the game. Well, big creatures was now enough. The second game in this match was just well, opponent they were on the play, they had the interaction to deal with my blockers, and they had the bigger and more threatening stuff. Alright, so nice event. Except for the match 2, which, you know, both games I lost to the Defiler Vigor. But otherwise, I mean, it's been a while since I drafted a domain deck, and now I had enough pay-ups to, you know, get a good domain deck. I think the only weakness of this deck was that I didn't have that much removal. Fires of Victory, Vortex, and the Bite Down really were the only ones, but still I had these basically big creatures that, you know, often just do the job. I didn't get to do the chapter 3 with this thing. Of course, that's also a massive way to deal massive damage, and maybe like something like Ivy wasn't like the best possible thing. I actually, maybe if I could choose, the Ivy would be just another Rootwalla, I think. But anyhow, that was it for this event. I will see you in the next video, which will happen probably in around 3 days. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.